Okay, so we've done a lot. It's time for a recap of everything we've done just to kind of refresh your memory. The first thing we did is we created 4 brand new scenes and we labeled them intro, level 1, winner, and loser. We also went through and on each level we frame labeled them. So if I click on layer 1, see the little flag, in the properties window we call it LVL1, and that will allow us to code. So later on, if we wanted to go to the winner scene, we have to make sure the first frame of the winner scene is frame labeled winner, or else the computer doesn't know where to send us. So we created our 4 scenes. We labeled them both here in the scene window and here in the frame layer window, or frame label window. Then we went to level 1 and we created a target. This target is a movie clip. If you double click on it, inside that movie clip, the very first frame has a stop and it's a button. When I select the button, you'll notice the stop disappears and we have this code: on press, go to and play 2, and underscore root dot score plus equals 1. So this on press, go to and play 2, what it will do is it will advance the movie past the stop and it will play whatever animation we want here, an explosion, a splatter, whatever is going to happen in your game. Then also it adds 1 to the score, and so it will find the dynamic field called score. Both the variable and the name must be score for this to work, but it'll add 1 to whatever it's currently equal. We'll get back to that later. You'll also notice on that timeline we have a stop and it's an empty frame, so that once we click on the thing it explodes or splatters or whatever, but then it stops and waits for it. Back on level 1, we have a whole lot of code on this little ball. We have on clip event enter frame, and that means automatically. We want to subtract 10 from its X position, which means it'll basically drag left. If you want to make it move to the right, we'd add plus equals 10. If you wanted to move up and down, it would be Y minus equals 10 or Y plus equals 10. If you wanted to go faster, we'd make it a higher number, make it 20, 30, 40, which would make it much faster. If you want it to be slower, we'd change that 10 to 5, 3, whatever. Then what this is if this dot underscore x minus is less than or equal to 0, which means basically it moved too far to the left, this dot underscore x equals 550. It's going to pick it up and move it to the right hand side. Our screen size is 550, so it'll pick it up and move it. This dot underscore y equals random, which means it'll randomly pick a position between 0, which is up at the top, and 400, which is at the bottom. So the viewer doesn't know where it's going to reemerge. And then this dot go to and stop 1 will reset the target. If they already blew it up, then it stopped and the target disappears, and this will reset it back to the button where it's now clickable and they can earn points by clicking on it. Then we have our score. We have a dynamic field right here, and remember the dynamic field, the properties must be called score. So here where it's labeled as score, and then also it also must be called score down in the variable in our options window. If you don't have both of those labeled as score lowercase, it will not work. We have our timer bar, which is also a movie clip. Currently on top of the timer frame on the main timeline, you'll see on clip event enter frame. If the score is greater than or equal to 2, go to and stop winner. Obviously we can change this to whatever. We can make it 10, 15, 20, and then they have to click more. We also have it set for winner, but let's say you want to have a second level where there's more targets or there are faster targets. Then you can do underscore root go to and stop quotes LVL2 or level 2. You just have to remember to make a scene called level 2, and you would have to make a frame label of level 2. Then in the movie clip, if you double click on it, we basically just went out to 120. I just randomly picked 120. You could certainly make it longer or you can make it shorter, but basically you want to give your viewer some kind of sense that they're running out of time. This is the easiest way. If you can come up with a better way, by all means, please go ahead and do that. But it's going to be a timeline. The length of the timeline is going to pretty much indicate how much time they have to accomplish whatever goal you're trying to set. At the end of that timeline, they ran out of time. They didn't override it by achieving their score. So it's going to take the scene to loser, which will bring us to the loser scene. Currently, we don't have anything on it, but you can have a big sad face. You can have a play again button. You can have some kind of smarmy comment. Better luck next time, or nice shooting text, or whatever you want, and it'll work. So in a nutshell, that's what we did in Unit 6. Okay. Move on to the summative assessment folder, and I'll give you some ideas of what to do for your final project for this unit.